first question's for Maria. Maria, as a stylist, how do you think wearable will be featured in editorials? I mean, do you see this being part of major fashion campaigns now and into the future?
Well, they've already been featuring wearables, especially online, on a lot of media outlets online. Right. It seems to be a hot topic this month of all things, which is kind of random. I've been seeing a lot of it. Yes, you started a trend, Allison. But as far as moving forward, but I'm really loving the accessories. I think they're beautiful, and that's what I see as far as styling moving forward with wearables.
Wonderful. Thank you, Maria.
Thanks.
Wonderful. Okay, Kyle, this question is for you. What do you look for in wearable technology that stands well out from competitors?
I think it's a really interesting question, to go in the first realm of things, like being an advisor for a wearable startup. What is wearables? Everybody's kind of like, it's just a little buzzword, but it keeps growing. As far as what I'm looking for wearables that don't show up in society, that aren't so pervasive that you're thinking of it as being a wearable. Most people with any sort of level of fashion sensibility, we're looking for things that don't adversely affect our life or affect the way that other people view us. So if a wearable is going to be successful, it has to be able to maintain this level of just where people can respect you for wearing it out in public. As far as entering in our everyday wear, I was talking with some of the other panelists tonight about the Back to the Future thing, when Marty McFly gets out and he puts on the clothes that shrink to his size, right? Everybody's kind of nodding their head I think, yeah, that's down the road and that's a wearable technology. I don't think it's tomorrow. But I think when it gets here, the accessories will make that kind of thing okay.
Thank you for that, Kyle. Allison, hi there.
Hey.
Hi. I've got a question someone gave me here. Working with designers and producing, well, of course, many of you know, one of the largest fashion weeks in California. Do you think you would ever do a dedicated runway night for wearables only? Is that something you've thought of?
Well, I'm obviously a little biased to wearables, putting on a workshop like this and bringing these lovely experts to share their insights and thoughts. So I would be a huge fan of having so many designers apply to Fashion Week San Diego in the wearables category that we could dedicate a night to them, which would be fascinating and I think really interesting and very entertaining to watch as well. This last year we had so many menswear designers that we created menswear night, Friday night, and dedicated that night to menswear. So I do see it being a possibility. And one of the things, Fashion Week and myself and my team and all of you in this room who support Fashion Week San Diego are great about is putting non-traditional items on a runway. We've had plus size with Adorius, who was the winning model this year. So those of you who came and voted for her, that was incredible. And we've put accessories on the runway, which are not traditionally found on any runway because it's really hard to see something so small on a 100-foot runway in a crowd of 5,000 people, but we do it, and we do it in a really creative, artistic way, making things larger than life and being that over-the-top production so that you can get at least the feel of the brand and some romance and some allure, and then later go up close and see it at the trunk show or investigate online. So I would love to put wearables. Right now, dominating the space is obviously accessories, rings. As you saw, I'm wearing the Tory Burch for Fitbit right now with Fitbit in it. And the John Lou bag. So it looks like it'd be more accessories, but who knows? I would love to see a designer come out with a great Marty McFly type of outfit, we call it that, where how great is a female to be able to put on one outfit, push a button, and it totally be tailored to our body right away. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Oh my God, I'd love it. I'm all about that. I'll buy the first demo. But yes, I would love to see wearables on a runway. I'd be a big fan of it, and I would encourage entrepreneurs in the fashion and technology industry to dabble and play in this because it's an uncharted pioneer, and why not be the one to go into the wild, wild west and guns a-blazing and be one of those creators that makes the next best thing.
Thank you, Allison.
Thank you.
Vanessa, this question's for you. As a style icon, do you think you would promote wearables in fashion? And if so, what would be important to you and your followers? Functionality or fashion?
It's definitely both. Functionality for sure, but obviously fashionable. I mean, it needs to be amazing. And as far as what I would put out there, I agree with everyone. Accessories for sure, as bags, rings. I've seen some amazing rings that link to your phone. I know that you had mentioned that too, and I can't wait to get one of those. The Fitbits, the purse, I definitely need that purse. My phone's already dying. But yeah, I think as far as clothes go, I haven't seen anything yet that, that I would put out for my followers. It's just, I'm ready to see something incorporated, but nothing yet.
Okay. Panels and speakers, do you feel that technology in wearables as far as activity trackers go is enough? Do you feel the consumer wants more out of these platforms, almost like social media platforms? Thoughts, comments on that?
I think we're getting tired of dashboards, slowly. It was fun for some time, and we just get, I burned that many calories today and stuff. But I think the next phase is connecting wearables to real services. For example, there was one company I just saw in San Francisco, I think it's called Uptick. So basically it connects your wearable information with your personal trainers. And it's kind of a personal trainer that you can talk to online, and that gives you specific things that you need to do. How do you improve, right? So I think dashboards were fun. I think the next stage is tying it to specific services.
Thanks to Jack, he recently gave me a Fitbit to demo before this so I could have some practical experience and do my own case study and interact with the technology and have some fun with it. And I will agree with Daniel that the dashboard after a while got a little boring. And I have to add people's emails to find them as my friends. And I think it'd be really great, or sync it with, a social media outlet, but it would be great to find maybe new people on Fitbit that I maybe don't have an authentic relationship with yet, that might have similar interest for the same technology use that I do. Maybe it's fitness, maybe it's drinking water, maybe it's losing weight, whatever it be. So I think moving more into a social platform is fantastic. I would be into that.
Panel speakers, jump in on this. Do you feel there is still a lot of area for growth in this marketplace, or is it just a fad that will burn out until, the next better, bigger technology must-have appears?
This is the new internet. This is when things are going to be automated. We're not going to have to process anything ourselves. It's going to be an interconnected world with interconnected objects that learn our behaviors and understand how we want things to be laid out. Long story short, it's here to stay, and we'll look back in a few years and think, that was the beginning of everything.
Just wanted to add real quick that, and if there's any journalists in the audience, don't quote me on this. If you could literally do the Google research yourself and get the real statistic, somewhere around 2017, they say that wearables are going to be worth, the whole industry as a whole will be worth, I think, $6 billion, if I remember right. So if they're projecting that much growth in the industry, it's not a trend.
There will ever be a time that wearables will be able to interact with each other and help connect strangers in real time, not just over apps and websites. Thoughts?
Yeah,
Jack?
actually, there is a company, I forgot the name, but it's something like a what-if statement. So the idea is that these wearables and devices going to interconnect with each other. So give you a simple example. If I play tennis, my tennis racket now has a sensor in it, and I get beaten so badly, it will automatically call my masseuse.
Why not?
Well, and so on and so forth. So there's companies already out there that these sensors will talk to each other, and they're making these conditions and assumptions, so they'll take action for you.
I'm just going to add to that I think we have to start thinking about what problems wearable technology can solve, and rather than what Daniel said about the novelty of it, and we're just thinking about these devices that might be fun at a point, and I think that's what causes people to think that wearable technology is a trend. When you come down to it and think about the problems that you might be solving, for example, security systems, there's a bracelet that reads your biorhythmic information and uses that to identify you, and so no longer will you be able to check into the CIA with your eyes. You have a unique biological component creating the security factor here. So I would suggest that we broaden our view of what wearables can do in terms of solving problems, because that's what's going to make this staying power.